Lord. You brighten up my life.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean. You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
Well, what's up? What's up? How are you all doing? Hoping that you are fantabulously fabulous. We are here for another Reasoning Thursdays, as we do each and every Thursdays right here on DA Powerhouse Radio, streaming live as well on YouTube's Radio, also streaming live on the Victorious 89.1 FM and the various outlets such as YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and the TuneIn apps. And we also have our own listening telephone line, 667-930-9036. And if you're listening via www.dapowerhouseradio.com, we also want to say big shouts to you. However you're listening to us, we just want to say big shouts and just thank you for joining us each and every week. Big up yourself, Don. Don says, Don Mighty says, good evening, panel. Well, good evening to you. Yeah, we have an exciting program tonight. Yeah, it's full of information. Election of Jamaica election is right around the corner. The U.S. just had a little runoff, and those statistics look good as well. And I'm hoping that the voters here in the U.S. come out again in September and do what you all need to do, especially here in Georgia. We're shaking it up. So, so lots of things are going on. Man, I'm telling you, the children. What did we say about each and every week having to touch the children? Man, that mass shooting that happened, I mean, like the children once again, the children. What are we drinking in our water? What is in our water? Is that the cause for this all of these hormonal changes? Well, we might just touch that just for a little bit. And it's alleged that our money's been wasted again. Taxpayer money has been wasted again. And what about this Alcatraz alligator Traz business that's going on? And it's alleged. Yeah, we're going to tell you it's alleged. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. And they have some spiritual world business going on. Yeah, that's in the news. And we're just gonna reason. How about that? We're gonna pick, choose, and refuse whatever we have lines up here. And I know that our panel, they have their own little views, different that what was sent in, but they may have something that they want to say as well. So we're gonna give them the floor to allow them to say that as well tonight. All righty. So just vibes with us. Share the like, share the lives, or just share the station if you're, because I know we have so many listeners that are listening via the website and the telephone lines and on YouTube's and on Victorious, that just share share. Just tell your friends and your family member that they need to tune in because it's straight up. It's a straight up program with lots of information and lots of reasoning where we agree to disagree. Okay. And that we also encourage each and everyone to go on out there and do your own research. Alrighty, because that's all we're doing. We're researching, we're listening, we're hearing, we're watching, and we're reasoning on what we're seeing and hearing and viewing and all of these things. We're reasoning on it. Alrighty. So, yeah, and we thank you for joining us and reasoning with us. So, without further ado, let's hear from the top-notch panel that we have here. So, starting up at top, we have the respected Jai Noni and Queen. So we're gonna start in that order. MC Michelle's gonna be joining us in a few. Go ahead, the respecter.
Yeah, there's a very disturbing noise coming from somewhere. I'm not hear it. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I hear it when we. That's why I had muted you, and then it went away. And since you're back on, we're hearing it again. So
Okay.
let me go on and mute everyone, and let's see if that stops the noise coming from your
Real
end.
bad.
Go ahead, the respecter.
Welcome, welcome. We appreciate you joining us each and every Thursday. Hope your week been good so far, and I hope your weekend gets even better. Appreciate you.
All right. We have up there up top there, Jai. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the last Thursday of August.
Whoa, you know what? That you sure are right. We're stepping into another new month. We only have like 4 more months left for the end of the year. Mighty God, what a way that went quick. That went real quick. Thanks for that, Jai. No need the juice.
Welcome, welcome everybody to Reasoning Thursdays once again. Leo season is up. I enjoyed it. So glad everybody's tuning in. Make sure you tell a friend, family member that we're on, and we look for a great, informative, exciting show tonight. Welcome.
All right, blessings, blessings. No need the juice. Yeah, Noni celebrated her birthday and she did that in top notch style in Jamaica. Honey child.
The island I love, and around the Jamaican people
Yeah,
I love.
there's no better way to do it up. Leo is out of here. Virgo's in now. Okay.
Right, right, right,
That's what they said to me when Cancer got booted. They said the juice is out of there. Now it's Leo time. All
right.
right. And the queen herself.
Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome panel, welcome listeners. You know we can't do it without you guys. So, like Noni said, share. Call your family, your friends. Tell them, call their family and friends, and just tune in. We have a lot to say. Thank you, and to share.
All right, all right, all right. We also want to say big shouts go out to You Choose Radio. They're on their anniversary. Alrighty. They're on their anniversary, doing it up for their anniversary. They what their 5 year anniversary. So big shouts go out to the YouTooseRadio.com family. And they have a 5 year anniversary after work event that's going on. And they have some artists that's going to be there, like such as Ali Major, Defari Congo, Tilly Bang, Snapper Chef, Rainy Rich, Flash Mo, Ardane, Blue Lion, Prospect DJ, who's that? Raga. Yeah, hosted by MC Life and Carrie and Brown. It's all taking place on September the 26th, and that's on a Friday. And also, they're going to be doing it live from their 5 p.m. program. So I want to say big shouts to you choose. Congratulations on your 5 years. You're creeping up over. You creeping up on the Powerhouse Radio. Yes. Yeah, he said it's going to be held at something else lounge, and that's in City Point Mall, ground floor. That's in Brooklyn, New York. All right, all right. So the event is not here in Atlanta. This is being held in Brooklyn, New York. For more information, 762-436-4138. So I want to say big shouts go out once again to the You Choose Formula. All righty. Yeah, blessings to you again, DJ BJ Smiles and Ross Dugal, and doing up your thing. Blessings, 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 blessings to you. Yeah, so let's get down to the boogie. Dr. J, want to say big shouts to you as well. Getting ready to expand. So hopefully we'll be hearing us live sooner or later in the ATL area and Stone Mountain area and all these areas. Man, I'm telling you, we're growing. We're growing and growing, growing and we're growing and we're growing it. Wow. Yes, so big shouts, big shouts, big shouts, big shouts to each and every one. And just want to invite you all to the tune in and check out the Lady D show each and every Saturdays, 12 to 4. Have to apologize to my listeners. I was out of town and couldn't get on the station to fix things up for you all. But nonetheless, it was a fantabulous Saturday for me. Yeah, my cousin made 90 years of age, and we went and celebrated him. It's a good thing to celebrate people when they're alive. You know what I'm saying? Because all the time, families and friends and everyone quickly come together, for a funeral. And everyone doesn't fly from near and far. People was from Canada and England and just everywhere, you know, came in to celebrate his 90th birthday. Cayman Islands from all over the place was in town. And yeah, it was off the easy. So we had a fantabulous time. Cousin Lloyd, big up yourself. And we got some new listeners as well because everyone in the place said they're going to be tuning in tonight, and they're going to be tuning in from now on. They didn't know, so now they know. All righty. So blessings to the family, and it was a good time. So let's dive down. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Where are we gonna start off first? Darmined sent in some topics, as well as Kim out of Miami sent in some topics, and Queen have some topics there as well. And Jai has some topics to respect. So we're just gonna dive in. Whose topic we want to dive in first on? Let's give the respect of the floor. How about that? The respect to what you got on your list there.
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Whoa, Jamaica's a deep topic. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go with something a little bit easy, and then we get to Jamaica. Cause Jamaica elections
Yeah,
come. You know,
exact. Yeah.
enough to talk about with Jamaica, and we're definitely going to make it a point to talk Jamaica tonight. Okay, so let's
Mhm.
dive over to Noni. You have anything on your list?
I don't. I didn't have time to get stuff like that together, but I'm gonna work on it for the next time. But I'm gonna go with y'all's topics. It's
Oh,
okay.
definitely, definitely, definitely. Queen, what you have for us?
Yes, last week I mentioned about an insurance company that a lot of us seniors are with. I'm not even going to mention the name. Or is it okay to mention the name, lady?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
Okay.
Your
All
insurance.
right. Yeah. The insurance company is called Saunders, and I was a member of Saunders, and we were left dried. I mean, dried. We had a card that you could get, over the counter stuff and other items with it. They took that out. That was fine. It was okay. I dealt with that. But then when it comes to transportation to go to your doctor's appointment, then that becomes an issue. And these, we were not warned about it. This morning I had an appointment, a very important appointment. I'm not going to say, but I had a very important appointment. And they canceled my ride without calling me. Now, this was, I came upon this at 6 o'clock in the morning. My appointment was at 9 o'clock. I had to go all the way down to Atlanta, Georgia, coming from Stonecrest, Georgia, and they canceled the ride. So I'm saying no. Now this costs like 40, $50 to go downtown, 40, $50 to get back home. Okay? Without transportation, that's what it would have cost me.
Ooh,
And I'm saying, how am I getting to this? But the idea is how they did it. They did not inform anyone. About 2 hours after I got home, I got a call from my broker. My broker told me that it's back on. Okay, I have another appointment tomorrow. I try to set up the appointment. Oh, 24 hours, because I guess because I don't know what it is, but they said I have to wait 24 hours before the transportation picks me up. So my appointment is at 9 a.m. The transportation wouldn't have been able to pick me up till 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now this, can you, I'm okay, but can you imagine some of these seniors that have no way of getting to their appointment? Some of them, it's detrimental to them. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden this is pulled out. Right now we don't know where we stand. I mean, we have 3 months to go before you can reapply. So there's gonna be 3 or 4 months without insurance. Now,
this is
I've been in this country since I was 12. I worked since I was 14, summer Georgia, New York State work program for youth. So I've been working in this country, and you know how old I am. Huh? So all these years I worked in this country paying Social Security, paying income tax, and they tell you, oh, when you retire, you'll get X amount of money. Listen, it's not so. Do your homework, okay? Because then you'll be left wanting, like I am, and 25,000 seniors, because that's the amount of people that are it's affecting. And the sideline we don't even know, but this is what was reported. I'm so disappointed in Georgia State. I'm so disappointed. I mean, in the policies, the state policies, the federal policies, and not caring for seniors. We build the country. We worked and build this country. I mean, come on now. I'm sorry. I just had to let that out. Panel, please forgive me.
No, that's
yeah.
fine. You definitely have all right to speak your mind in regards to it. It's a sad thing when that happens, especially to our seniors, that worked very hard, and that is their only means and ways to get medical treatment, and to have transportation to get back and forth. Not just our seniors is going through this. A lot of citizens are going through this because they even have the SNAP program that up until now they say like 3 months people still have not been able to get their benefits. So imagine, when those are your livelihood, especially you, Queen, waking up 6 in the morning and being
Yeah.
able to access your ride for a very a very important doctor's appointment. Our government ought to be. I think really, really, I don't know. I think that a lot of the citizen is starting to see one and two things because
Yeah.
we had a vote, we had an election the other day,
Hmm.
and the results came out where two of the GOP's area has been turned over to a Democrat. So with great with
Woo!
yeah, so
Mhm.
I think people are starting to show, which I've always said and I've always stressed to our listeners. The importance of voting is now on the lower level of things. We can't just wait for president. No, we have to vote for the Senate. We need to vote for whom we really putting in the House. We need to vote for the commissioners, the judges. We need to go out there and vote on those levels so that we can make the impact that we want, and that we are having persons in there whom are listening and really, really representing us, and not just focus on what 47 and whomever else, but really listening to the people in their constituencies. And
Yeah.
um, you know in regards
That,
to what you said, Queen, in regards to the, you're paying your social security, and
yeah.
you've worked how many years of your life here in America. Just
Mhm.
think about what they're trying to change. I don't know
Mhm.
if you all are aware and have heard that it's alleged that they're trying to change the name from social security, and now calling it a federal benefit payment.
Mhm.
So like
That,
it's not like we paid into this thing. Now it's like
mhm.
it's a benefit from the government to us. Well, you know, that kind of rubbed me a little bit.
Mm. They trying to privatize everything. They're trying to privatize, lady, and that's what's going on.
Yeah.
You see what happened is even the checkout system in the stores, you know, nowadays they trying to use just cards. These are all privatized. They're trying to privatize everything. And the thing is that who is suffering in the long run? People,
Yeah.
and they're not taking that into consideration. You know what I mean? I wrote my congressman day for yesterday. I wrote him a long letter. His name is Hank Johnson. He is for the district of DeKalb County. Well, not DeKalb County, but Latonia, Stonecrest, and Decatur. He is the congressman, the representative for for these these areas. So I wrote him a very long letter, and I did it from Centerwell when they stopped the rides at Centerwell all the way down to now because it's affecting seniors, and I'm strong, but I know of many of these seniors I know personally that right now I know they are so worried, they're so scared. I had one, she don't stop calling my phone. She's so scared, that she won't have rides, she won't have her medication. I mean, this thing is affecting people, and I'm saying, don't you know?
Well, it's
The
important.
orange just don't care. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's
it's
important for
terrible.
um each and everyone to even write in. What you've done, Queen, is awesome. And we encourage, and in our listeners, if you're seeing something that's happening in your neck of the woods that you're not happy with, then by all means, definitely, definitely write into your senators, write into your congressmen. As a matter of fact, write into the White House, write to them judges, just write. When you went to school, they let you write all of these essays and write all of these things. Put them to use. Put them to use right now. Start writing so that hopefully it can be a change can be made. Michelle, you were saying?
No, I was just saying that I'm sorry that you're going through all of that, Queenie, and and all your friends, and that they have to suffer like this, and the anxiety and the confusion of how things are going to be, and how if this is going to get better, it's going to continue to get worse. I'm sorry that that's happening. And as you said, and Diana said that, Lady D said, and Queenie said that you have to write your congressman, and that's correct. Your
Yeah.
representatives.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of these insurance they're closing. My broker is having a very hard time now. She got something for me, but a lot of these people they have certain criteria pertaining to their health. So they have to find an insurance that fit their needs and what they need. Some are transportation, some might be medication, diabetes supply, depends on what it is. So the thing is that most of these insurance right now, they're not accepting new application until the new period when it starts in October.
Yes.
So you're lost right between there. How you're gonna survive right in between there until that time, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
And it doesn't set in until January.
Mhm. Well, we'll continue. Well, all we can do is just continue to watch and pray, and hopefully that yourself, Queen, and a lot of other individuals, be whom is affected by this change, um,
Mhm.
can be able to get another providing insurance agency before October so that you all can
Yeah,
resume getting your medical treatments, getting your medications, which is so important to survive
yeah,
for a lot of persons. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, we definitely. My question to the panel: am I the only one showing my face today? What's going on? Everybody turned. Everybody's like MIA or something. What's going on?
I know last week I was on, but everybody else won't. It's just me and you. So
Uh,
I got to get back to it. I know.
I,
For
I,
me, I just want to get better lighting. So
I,
that's
Mhm.
not working out everybody yet.
excuses, excuse. Right now, I'm dark. I'm in the dark.
And my face was looking too angry. So
Oh,
Lady D, I did just think of something only because I received it in my feed and it was pretty disturbing.
Yeah,
If you don't mind, it was a young lady who she just kept saying she was like her video. You could tell she was under a lot of stress when she presented this topic. She was stating how we got to really watch our surroundings
yeah,
because she had went, I think it was Kennesaw. She had got back from a movie theater, and while she was driving on the highway, there was like a guy in a Kia. He had dreads. She was trying to describe him, but he was kind of pretty much following her, and she was watching him, you know, uh, changing lanes as she was changing lanes, and the only thing she could think of was get to her subdivision, get there. And because she knew she was being stalked, her mentals was just all over the place. She didn't pull up to her apartment because she figured her parents were asleep. So she hurry up, got out of her car, hid somewhere, and she called her mom. She was just making all sorts of wrong moves
yeah,
based on her fear. And she was just saying that how she was just terrified that he literally followed her to that subdivision and he was after her, and she hid like near like it was like a public like restroom. She was afraid to go in the stall because she felt like she would be trapped. And then she finally hid herself, and she saw a flashlight thinking it was the perpetrator. She wasn't sure because she was on the phone with 911 as well as her mom. And
okay,
sure enough, the flashlight was the police officer. Thank God, she said. And she said,
yeah.
just put me in your police car. I'm afraid. Just put me in your police car. So that's what they did. And they're in search for the Kia and whatever else, the evidence that she gave them.
well, I'm glad that she did. I'm glad that she did call the police and her mom, but taking them to the subdivision that you live in.
Ooh, I know.
That I understand your the adrenaline is rushing, but if you notice someone is following you, immediately call 911 and let them know that there's a car, and see if you could get the color of the car, and just let them know that they're following you, and keep on driving and drive straight to a
Exactly. I was thinking
police
that police
station,
station. Yep.
not to yours. And then on top of it, she got out of her vehicle,
Exactly.
went to
Mhm.
hide where if someone was following her, then by the time the police, her mom, anyone could have gotten there, they could have already kidnapped her or harmed her in
Right.
some
Mhm.
form of
Yeah.
way. So my encouragement would be to listeners is to definitely dial that 911. Dial 911, go to the nearest police station, fire station, blow that horn, get some form of attention to
Right.
Yeah.
self.
Yeah.
Let someone say, "Oh, I see this car driving erratically on the highway, blowing their horn and flashing their light."
Mhm.
The car next to you, behind you, in front of you, they're going to call the police. Someone's going to call someone to assist you. Don't bring them directly to the residence
Right.
where you
Mhm.
lived. And I know sometimes we are in, our mind is going to the left. We are all of that. But in situations like this, we just, listeners, we just have to keep a sound mind. And that's the reason for 911. Although sometimes they keep us on hold forever. And sometimes we feel like they don't show up, but do something, crazy. Somebody's, you're gonna get someone's attention.
Mhm.
Don't bring them to your home, baby. Don't bring them
Yeah.
to your home.
Yeah, because you can come back. They could come back. No, I didn't get you this time. Okay,
Right.
tomorrow.
And on top of it, they got your license plate number,
Mhm.
you know. And with the way things are right now on internet, you could put in anything and get any information on
Yeah.
something. So it's, not never to your home. And I
Yeah.
understand. I
They
understand.
weren't any wise moves. She was making all the
Yeah, yeah.
wise moves that
But God is good,
yeah.
and I'm very happy
Glad.
that you know, the police did come in time, or to assist her. And but yeah, now I would want to move. If I was in that situation, I would want to move now, because of the fact that I brought them to my to my complex, to my subdivision where
Exactly.
I live.
Yeah, where you live with your parents.
So each time I'm going in and coming out, I'm really, really going to be looking over my shoulder.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that is not even the right way to live at this point. Blessings to you, Myra. Myra said, "Blessings to all." Blessings.
Blessings, Myra.
Blessings,
Blessings,
Myra.
Myra.
Man.
Blessings to you.
Um, I'm gonna touch this real quick. It's 8:41 on the Powerhouse clock. Blessings to you, choose radio, also to the Victorious 89.1 FM, and to all of our listeners, however you all are tuning in, the web, the telephone lines, the social medias. We want to say blessings to you and thank you for joining us. Um for joining us. All righty. Yeah, there was something that came out as a notice to each and every one, and I don't know who and who got it, but they're talking about our water supply, and for us to be aware of it. So this is just a FYI, and maybe something that we can maybe discuss later down, but we have too many other serious topics on our rostrum here. But for your tap water, they're saying the biggest drug that is in our tap water, it's alleged that it's the birth control. And it is being told that it's unfiltered in our water. So whoever's drinking these tap waters, oh my goodness. So it is they're saying if they're wondering as well if it's alleged that the wondering is going on that if this is why maybe a lot of these gender issues are going on because of the progesterone that is being released in this water. So it's just things that makes you go,
Who
okay.
Well,
needs
you
Roe
know, we need
versus
to
Wade when
find
you
out
got
if
tap
they,
water?
we need to find out if when you cooking, if it changes. Oh, what? Oh, you know,
What was
a lot of us cook with regular water, pipe water.
what was you saying, Jai?
No, I was saying who needs Roe versus Wade when you have tap water?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
That's a good one. That's a real good one, Jai.
but you know what? The
Mhm.
thing when you think about it, right? And
Uh-huh.
this is the thing that they don't really talk about as much, but most of the medication that people are taking all these different types of medication, and it goes into the water. You know what I mean? It comes from your body, goes into the water, and they can only filter like maybe parasites and bacteria and certain viruses and whatever else could be in them, could be in the water. But can they really sanitize? Not to really think about it, but can they really sanitize all the medications and chemical compounds that come from your body from the medications that you take?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And
the
to
next,
add,
and then oh, sorry, the
no, no,
next.
no, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say. So the next thing you think about these young men, like I'm sure when you were younger, young boys, and we're not talking about boys a little heavy set. Yes, sometimes they have a little extra chest in the front, but we're having boys that are not as heavy set and they have chest, and you're
Yeah.
wondering between the hormones in the chicken and the milk, and now you're talking about the birth control in the water, chemical compounds. If this is causing, this is like an epidemic, because a lot of boys used to have walking around and they're not as heavy set and they have boobs, and you're
Yeah.
like, what? So that's just something to think about.
It's things that makes you go, hmm.
Mhm.
Also, for FYI, I know a lot of persons love those romaine noodles and things like that, but it is alleged that eating it raw is not a good idea. And a young boy 13 passed away from eating it uncooked, those instant noodles, and so please make sure you cook them and cook if you're
Why
gonna
would
eat
you
them.
want to eat it uncooked and all that
Cook
salt
it
that's
and
in
cook
it?
it right. You know,
Hey.
um, I don't know, and it's not good to reheat those things. You know what? Next week I have a list of foods that you all are going to be really, really shocked that you should not be reheating once it's cold.
Mhm.
Just eat it cold. You know, I when my sometime one time, well, my kids would say, "Oh, you eating that cold?" I said, "Yeah, it will warm up in my stomach," because they say your stomach churn, your stomach is hot, right? So it will churn. But listen, if it's cold, don't bother reheat it. I'm gonna give you that list next week, okay? And Donna says it's an experiment experimentation that they're using to damage our genetics, and they took over our critical infrastructure, and the water sector is one of their main targets. Greetings to you, Donna, and yes, a
Mhm.
lot of things are going through the water system, and yeah,
Yeah,
that's how they're going to get us through our water because we have to drink water.
right. But allegedly, that's the easiest way. I always said that. I always said if somebody really wanted to, that'll be the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
And then I just remember reading an article when they were adding twice or three times the fluoride that was already in it. And so I'm like, now you're blaming it on meds.
Yeah.
What else have you increased to clean it that we're still turning around and using? You know what I mean? If you increase the fluoride two or three times more, allegedly, what else did you increase?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Another
Like,
FYI is was someone else saying something? No? Okay.
no, I'm just agreeing with Jai. I said exactly.
Okay. Okay. Another FYI real quick and before we dive into some other serious topic, not that all of these are not serious because they are. Um for it's alleged that there's a breach since the DOG action. So, millions, over 300 million people's social security data is at risk. So it's alleged that over 300 million people's social security data is at risk. Okay. So you all may need to keep checking on your social security information, check on any credit that may or may not being taken out in your names. Just continue to follow up, do that. Some of these credit people like Experian and them, they have that thing where you could put an alert on you if anyone runs your credit to try to get credit using your social and so on. So just be mindful of that. And I see Michelle had threw that in there. You wanted to touch anything in regards to that, Michelle, or that was a good FYI?
That was a good FYI.
Okay, okay. All righty. So yeah, that was one there. And
Well, okay, go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of alligator Alcatraz, that they had in Florida, in the Everglades area, that the
Yeah.
governor Ron DeSantis was so excited about, and even our Department of Health, they were excited about it. Department of Health secretary, and even the president, everybody was excited about, the Republicans excited about this alligator Alcatraz, that they were going to put migrants there, right? And that it was hard they had tried to escape, that an alligator may get to them because it was on like an isolated area. And they talked about how it was flooding, how there were snakes and just different things, horrible conditions.
So what I'm
So
happy about is that the judge shut it down.
yeah, that's what I said. So the
Yeah.
judge ordered for it to be shut down by late October.
So that is an excellent thing. So that's
Yeah,
just another bit of taxpayers' money being down the drain, by
yeah,
none other than 47
$33 million, right?
Goonies. All righty.
Yeah, but
So
you know what, I just wanted to say that I was just, with all the grim and horrible things that are happening and with the politics, this is just like a positive light that there is some justice that can come through all of this.
yeah, and I think more justice will be taking place as as hopefully the shift um in representatives, because we still have a couple more um primaries to go. So we'll see what happens and if there's some more seats being taken away, such as the seat in Iowa, which now makes the Democrats Caitlin Dry Dewey, I think. Is she won this the Iowa Senate seat in a special election, which makes it there's no she's the one who has to break that super majority. So right now in Iowa they cannot confirm anyone in government from government and in the judicial system. So it's a great big blow to the GOP right there. And imagine that was a 47 state. That was
Oh.
Oh,
I was wondering what was going on in Georgia because Vance was down here a couple of days ago. He was here in Georgia, and I don't know that I heard that he's gonna be running for the next presidency, so he's getting his butt in. He's trying to bring his butt in because Georgia, it's a Republican state, so they're supposed to be taking Georgia back to a
well that's
republic
I don't
because a lot of Republican had gone Democrat, so they trying to take it back. So he was down here talking and having meeting and whatever. Yes, lady. I'm
That's no,
sorry.
that's okay. That's okay.
Mhm.
Finish your thought. That's no surprise because obviously we know that he's going to run for president.
Mm-hmm.
And Donna says we cook with the tap water, we bathe with it, and so forth and so on. So eventually, it affects us all.
That's
You
I
go,
was saying that too. Does it change the component of it change if it's boiled, or you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like how you would say you boil something and you kill the disease or the germ,
yeah,
or is it still dominant in the water when it's boiled?
yeah. Sometimes the boiling of the water don't help. So
Don't
I
help.
mean,
That's
yeah, but Myra says put a filter on that faucet. But Myra, they're saying that it's not is you can't filtrate it. It's not a way.
not biodegradable.
It's yeah, they that's what it says in the article that filtration can't help that. It's just something
Uh,
that is in the water. You know, it's something that we really and that's why I said maybe next week we touch on it. Because we really may need to really dissect this water situation that's going on, because in the article they're stating on a lot of it comes through urine from, and I don't want to gross, I'm not even trying to gross anyone out. You know, I'm just saying what is supposed to be factual. So listen to this. I'm going to let you all hear this here. That they found in tap water. Do you know what it is? Fluoride. Birth control is the highest. All right, let's take this one from the top. Biggest drug that they found in tap water. Do you know what it is? Fluoride. Birth control is the highest toxic compound found in tap water. So boys are consuming this. So what's actually happening here? There's a major prevalence of birth control. Girls, as soon as they get their first menstrual cycle, what are the doctors telling them? Oh, your period cramps hurt. Here's some birth control. What's happening? When they go pee, all of those synthetic estrogens, progestins are getting into the water supply. They are not filtered out through the filtration systems when that water eventually comes out through the tap. So what is this doing? It's causing a detrimental hormone decline and issues in young boys, in men, and also in young girls and women as well. So we're being inundated with these synthetic female hormones, and we wonder why we have a testosterone decline in the entire country. Yeah. So it's not a laughing matter, you know, because these things are not even able to be filtered. So we are really drinking a lot of these things, putting a lot of these things into our body. It's alleged. Let's throw that word in there. It's alleged that we are drinking a lot of these things and we are not even aware of what we are drinking, what we are putting in our bodies, what is, I mean, like, because clearly we heard it's not even, it's unable to be even filtered. So we thinking that, okay, we put a filter on our faucets, we do certain things, and yeah, it's all unicorns and rainbows.
mm,
Yeah, so it raised a big question on what is going on in society, you know, and what's exactly our telephone line is down. So we are going to have to get you all to type in or hit us up on 404 to give your comment, and I'll try to put you live on the air that way. Okay, until our system comes back down. We doing a revert in our telephone lines. So call 404 and I'll be able to put you live on the air that way. Donna says it's the 9/11 terrorists and they are not from the Middle East. Okay. They didn't pay me, so I know. All right, Donna, they didn't pay you. Okay. So, yeah. So that's things that makes you go, hmm.
mm.
Things that makes you go, hmm. All righty. Okay. So
So
let's
in
go ahead, the respecter.
so in that situation, due to the fact what's going on, and no one is being held accountable for it. The next step should be us see if there's a way to form like a class action lawsuit against the water companies because you can't just let it go. Somebody's intentionally doing it, and it's been going on and on and on and on.
What can we really put that against the water company? Or is this a pharmaceutical
It's intentional.
lawsuit? Is this a government or state?
It's
Um,
intentional.
because this is everywhere, the respecter.
It's
I mean,
intentional.
it's intentional.
It's intentional.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember, they don't want black folks making them more babies.
But is everyone is drinking this water? So
Sure.
I mean,
Are you hearing about this from Roswell and Alpharetta and those places?
no, this is not just here. It's not just here in Atlanta. This is in the water system itself. Everyone who was using birth control throughout the country, any woman that is using birth control throughout the country, they use the toilet, they urinate in the toilet. And when do you
That
there's
don't make no
you
sense,
know
man. It don't make.
Inspector, do you know that these these water is being recycled?
Of course, I
Of
know
course.
that.
Right there,
So
there is
You
right down
know,
a flat show, you see the
what
whole thing
they're
a
saying.
pump, pump, pump,
Right.
pump.
I
So what they're saying is this water that they're filtering and that is being recycled, those medications, and that's just one of the medications. There are other things that are in there that are not and cannot be filtered during the filtration and the recycling um um process. So these are things that no matter what are getting through. It's not just a state thing. It's a country.
so all these years and years and years and years, they're just finding that out.
Donna says they overthrew the government. It's worldwide. It's a web that ensnares the world, aka the World Wide Web. I I don't think that they just realize that. Well, now with testing, as they've been testing a lot of things. Um, yeah. Do you know the
And
other day? Yeah, go ahead, Queen.
I was gonna say there are more people too now using birth control than they used to in those days too. Because these young folks now they're more into one child, having one child or two child in the family. You know what I mean? And you have some of them that decide that they're not gonna have any at all. So, years ago, women were more prone to have their children to birth them, you know, um, and some men didn't like women using birth control in those days. You know what I mean? Um, so now it's more prevalent. So because of that, there is it's coming out more, it's leaking more, and it's in the water system. So of course you're gonna have more of a potency in the water system than you used to. So they have to come up though with something to control this because they produce this. And like one of the panel said, we need to speak up on this, because it's affecting our children, and not our children, but it's also affecting us.
Okay. Myra says, I I'm not sure if you're saying don't do the bottled water. She says DDN the bottled water. So I'm not sure on that as well. But I know there was something that came out as to um not drinking out of the plastic bottle, especially if it's exposed to sun. Oh, she says even the bottled water. Um, as a matter of fact, I have a bottle of water right here to be drinking right now, and I'm wondering, is that the same case with the spring waters? And but they're saying tap because those tap waters is what is being recycled. That's why they have the
And
sewage
filtered.
companies
Yes,
and
yes.
that same sewer water, sewer system, all of that stuff. Those
Mm,
waters are being recycled. That's
yeah.
basically what they're telling us. That's why they
Yeah.
have the sewer system. They try to keep it clean. They drop all these chemicals and all of these things in the sewer system. It's
Mhm.
alleged. And it goes through the water plant, and the water plant is cleaning these
Mhm.
waters.
Mhm.
So it's recycling it. It's almost
Yeah.
like a person going for dialysis. They're recycling
Um,
the blood. It's the same thing.
mhm.
They're recycling the water that we're drinking, and we're urinating, and all of that is going in.
Ah,
You understand, Donna? So I'm not sure with the bottled water because they say spring water. Is it actually coming from the spring? And if it is so, then what is the process of that as well? Is that just flowing water, which it should be flowing water? So what happens to the people that is up at the top of the spring that is peeing and doing whatever when it's coming down?
yes.
I mean, it's things that makes you go,
And I see that the river water, and I see them collecting the river water and drinking it. And I said, Lordy,
I
it's in the Caribbean. Yeah.
it's it's honestly food for thought. It's honestly
Yeah.
food for thought. Okay. Donna says they're deleting, editing, modifying, and cutting our DNA. I hear you, Donna.
Um,
Things that
it's hard to control right now. It's hard, especially with the population growth. It's hard to control what you consume. It's very hard. We
yeah.
don't know what we are consuming half of the time. And then they come out with all these labeling and organic and all of this. And who knows if it's really organic or not?
Yeah, it's
You know
organic
what I
when you
mean?
grow it in your
But
own yard.
you know, it's a do what you have to because you need to eat. So what do you do? I mean,
Okay. Um, I just got a reminder from one of our listeners stating she sent in article to me, and I was to send it. I think I did put it in our group chat, but it's an article where she's encouraging, and she asked us to bring it to our listeners' attention. It's uh it's a website, a government website. It's called the MVP. Welcome, and it's for Georgia, but I guess you can check your state and see if your state has the same thing. What she's saying is that um, people names, when you think that you're voting, you're not really voting. They have been booting out people, especially people of color, from voting. What they're doing is wrong. Check your information and see if you are still active to vote. She says, I have 4 out of 6 that were booted out. She says that she is still active. So there's a government website here in Atlanta, in Georgia. It's called Welcome to Georgia, My Voters page. So you may have Welcome to New York, your voters page, or whatever. And on that website, it's alleged that it is a government website. And on that website, you can pull up and see if you had voted. Caller, I know that you're listening. Call in on the 404-386-6107 number, and maybe you could give us a little bit more insight on this, because our telephone is um our telephone is not working. So call in or text in on our social media. All righty. So that way you could give more information. But she's encouraging our voters, listeners, to go into the voting website in your neighborhood. I mean, in your state. Go into the website in your state. And hi, caller, if you can briefly let the callers know what you were advising Reasoning Thursday. You're live on the air. Hello.
Yes, hello.
You're live. Mhm.
I was at a bingo thing where with seniors from where I was, and what happened was this lady came in. She was in a wheelchair, and she came in with a young lady that had a clipboard. So she said, "I need you all to listen. I need you all to listen to this." So the young lady said, "I'm a representative that's working with the state." And her name is um, 1 minute. I'm
Never,
sorry.
never mind if you can't find the name. Just what was the purpose of that individual visit to the seniors meeting?
What they said is that they're allowing people to vote, but their vote is not counted. Most of their votes are not counted. So what she had you go do is go onto a site. That's what she had us do. Go onto the site, and when we went onto the site, it was six of us sitting in that room. And when we went onto the site, it was M MVP. For our state, it was GA voter. And then when you go onto it, you click the one that says registration, and it will tell you. You put in your information. It's really just your name and your zip code, and it will tell you if you are registered or not. And it was six of us, and four of us out of the six were booted. So the person said to me, all this time I have been voting, my vote haven't been counting because he votes for, well, they vote for several things that's going on in this world. And I was like, wow. So she also gave us a form. I told her I needed a change of address because mine was active. But she gave the other people a form, and, and she told them that to give their information and to use her name, um, um, her name, and let them know that this is worldwide. It's not only the state of Georgia, but this is worldwide.
Right, it's countrywide. Yeah.
Statewide.
And
Yeah.
Jackie, Elise knew about this, Jean.
Let everyone you know about this. So she said she's also going to call the radio stations.
Okay, caller. Thanks so much for that information. And yeah, so for each and every one in whatever state you are in, and as we're speaking, even in regards to the local votes, you know, your Senate, um your house, your all of the votes, your commissioners, your judges, go and make sure. I'm not sure if this site is legit or not legit, which caller has said that yeah, she has went on the site herself and she showed that she's registered, and but there were other persons that were there that were not registered. So it is really important that you all go ahead and confirm that you are registered to vote in whatever state that you are in, to make sure that your vote does count.
Lady,
Okay.
Georgia, you have up until October the 1st to make sure that your name is on the list, because if it isn't, you won't be able to do that mayoral vote for November the 4th.
Okay. So all of the Georgia folks, remember I told you we have some serious business that is coming up in September. There's a runoff that's going on for the state Senate seat for Deborah Shingley. And it's the area that she won is a predominantly GOP area, and she won it by 39.5%. So right now, so she's in a runoff for September. Okay. So for all of you Democrats that want to see her win to shift the seat here in Georgia, you all need to go out there and go start voting. But before you start voting, make sure that you are registered to make sure that the votes count. Okay.
Lady,
Yes, I'm the respecter. Go ahead.
it wouldn't make sense for the government, the voting board, those who are in the positions on a daily basis to make sure that us, the citizens, the residents, are the way it's supposed to be. Already, once you register once and you're voting, it should be monitored on a regular basis. We can't be spending our time, our money to go and vote, and then have to keep track of if we're still registered to vote.
Well,
I mean, somebody's not doing their job.
no, but that's your right to
But
vote. And if you want to exercise your right, then it's your responsibility to make sure that you can vote. It's the same way if you go and get your license, they ask you, do you want them to register you to vote? It's your responsibility and your right to vote or not to vote.
I
So
understand.
it's for you to keep track. No government ain't gonna
No, 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 no. I understand all that.
uh-huh.
But what I'm saying, all that's going on, and it's not making any sense, lady. What
It
what is what is government doing? What is the politicians doing? What is those who work for government doing in voting board? What are they doing?
they're trying to fight for our rights so that
In
we
what way?
so that we need to go out there and to go make sure that we are registered to vote and go vote so that the ones who are fighting for what they need to be fighting for, whether it comes into fruition or not, are getting our votes to stay right there and keep speaking and keep fighting and keep sitting in those house seats for hours upon hours and passing bills and doing what they need to do.
But it's
So
obvious they don't really consider our vote. Because if they did, congressmen, the local officials would make sure that those who are registered to vote stayed registered to vote and
you're
don't have to worry.
the respect to you ask them to sit there and do billions of individuals. How are
They
they?
ain't doing nothing to begin with.
How
They're not
are they?
working.
You may not see what they're doing,
They ain't doing jack.
but they're
If they were
doing
doing,
things. They
one
are.
second, one second, please. If they were doing their work, they would have realized that before 47 jump into the race to vote, bring forth the Epstein file. So they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Their heads are up their butt. And I'm not going to
Epstein
agree with you on that.
Epstein file.
They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're too
Epstein
weak.
file was not was sequestered. It you could not touch the Epstein file as well as the Martin Luther King file and all of those. Those have just been able to be exposed now. So we can't bring up what could not
Biden was
be brought
president.
up.
Democrat was in charge. They could have.
No, when things are sequestered for X amount of years or whatever, you cannot bring those things up until it is time, and then it has to be voted on for it to be released. Allegedly, that's my understanding. If I'm incorrect, please someone let me know. But to my understanding, that is the way the process work. May it be a fair and good process or not, that is what the process is. Okay. And I would not want my senator sitting there months upon months making sure that I can vote instead of sitting there and trying to create ruckus and stop things from happening and sitting there and going over some of these crazy policies and laws that are trying to be implemented by another party. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's my duty to make sure that I'm helping the person that I want to sit there by making sure that I am registered to vote, not only registered to vote, but I go and vote. That is the same thing with even Jamaica. Jamaica residents needs to go out there and vote for a change. And if all of us taking that concept into our minds, that we need to go out there and register and make our voice be heard and go stand in those lines no matter what the consequences is, no matter what the heat is, no matter what the rain, how hard it's raining, and go out and vote. Then maybe, just maybe, some changes can be made in some of these laws, in some of the people whom are in these seats that needs to get out of these seats. And I commend the people in Iowa who went out there and made their vote. I commend the people in Georgia that went out there and made their vote for Deborah. I'm commending all whom is making sure that they're registered and they're going out there, rain, sleet, snow, sun, whatever it is, and going out there and making their voice be heard. We need a change. We got to stop worrying about what some people or some people ain't doing. Let us do our part and then allow them to do their part. Because without us doing our part, there's never going to be a change. And that's why I've been preaching for the last 18 years on this Reasoning Thursday that we need to start to vote and vote on the lower levels and not make it a 10-mile line for a president vote that doesn't really that is decided by electors. We need to go into the House. We need to vote for the Senate once again. We need to vote for the commissioners. We need to vote for the education boards. We need to vote for the superintendents. We need to go out there and vote for the judges. We need to vote. So go register and make sure that you're able to vote and that your vote counts. That's all. That's all we got to do. That's all we have to do. And support whom we're putting in these seats. And let's not say they're not doing anything. Because if we look, there's a lot that has been done. A lot. It's not everything that we want to be done that has been done, but a lot has been done. And more can be done if we all do our part. Jamaica. Let's dive into Jamaica. Jamaica needs to do their point, their part. Stop worrying about this green color and this orange color and start focusing on what is going on right in your faces on either side, either party. Look at the situation and the life that you're living and know and really think to yourself, am I better? If I am better in the 8 years that I have been, then hey, that if you're doing better every year, then hey, vote the way you want to vote. Vote green. Vote JLP. Don't worry about the color because they're doing what you want them to do. If they have been there for 8 years and you are still suffering, you're not getting any, your life is even worse, then what can you lose by trying something different? Trying
Well,
another color. Hey, another party. Forget the color once again. Go ahead.
well, they're saying that it's revving up in Jamaica what is going on in terms of the election out there. I didn't even know that they have debates, but this year they had debates with three candidates on each side of the coin, on each party. They had three members debating,
Yeah,
and they're saying that that people are looking for values and their future, what will happen in the future. Now they're saying that Jamaica need a lot of new polling places because of the areas that some of these polling places are. people are scared and to go to venture in those areas because of the violence that are within those areas. So they need to work on that. But what I want to know is there's a lot of stuff coming in terms of even the budget. The budget before was at 25% increase. I mean 25%. What the JLP wants to do is they want to reduce the cost for 226, 227 to 15%, right? While they're saying that the PMP party, they want to increase it instead of decrease. Now, I was looking at some statistic there in terms of the budget um, for 226 to 27, and it's a lot of, I see a lot of gain, um, and I can't say on any side, but I see a lot of gain. And what they need to focus on, these people who are running for the different areas in government, they need to focus not just on the gain of it, but they need to focus on what the people need and how they're gonna control these money, because I see the different areas they're gonna put money into. One of it is education, one of it is medical, but then at the same time, they're fighting against each other. Who can do the most? Who can do the least? Instead of coming together and figuring out what would be best for the people of the country. Now, if these increase go on, it's also going to affect the people because this is based on income tax, taxation. That's what it's based on. So, I don't know what's going to happen, but people need to think about all of these things. This is my legacy. This is my future. This is my children, my grandchildren's future. This is election time. What can I do instead of running around like masquerade and having parties and drinking and what have you? Because those are some of the clips I'm seeing, you know, um, and partying, and that's what they're doing instead of being realistic and start looking at what these candidates who were there supposed to have been debating what they have to offer.
Okay. I was watching The Fix, and Damian Crawford was on The Fix. And some of what he was saying was valid with what I heard. But I'm going to go into this. One of our Don sent this in to me, and he asked me for us to discuss this topic on our program as well. So I'm going to touch this clip right here, and you all let me know what your thought on as to what this young lady here is saying. Oops. Because there's progress, huge this year, because it's one of the most important videos you watch this year, because it will literally change your trajectory of your life, your finances, your health, your family, your country. If you're watching this, I'll try my best not to make it too long, but please watch it all the way to the end and share it and repost it so that people can make an informed decision. And by the way, I have notes written down, so if you see me looking down, it's because I want to make sure that I'm covering the real things. Number one, now everybody here, most of you here watching, you would have taken CXC or CSEC at some point in time. But did you know that in 2015, for people who had more than 5 subjects, including math and English, we're talking about basic stuff here, or pass rate was 38.6%. That was 38.6%. Do you know what it is today? 19.2. That's 19.2% of people are passing 5 subjects or more, including math and English. That is crazy. And here's a receipt to show. 19.2% of that is crazy to me. That is crazy to me. And you know that this is going to have a knock-on effect on our economy, everything in our society moving forward. This can, like, 19.2% of people passing 5 subjects or more, including math and English, when it used to be 38.6, 10 years later, we've gone down.
Uh,
That's wild.
But let's talk about number two. What about our healthcare system? Now, we may not talk about the 24 babies and that died and the families that have been impacted by that, but let's talk about just health in general. Okay? How many people here have had a family member that has been sick, really badly ill, or maybe you yourself have gone through an ailment or an illness? Imagine something is wrong with you and you have to leave from one side of the island to go to the other side of the island just to get help. Just to get help. The Cornwall Regional Hospital, it was supposed to cost $5 billion with a B, and I'll put the screenshots in of the article so you guys can see these things. Do you know how much it's costed so far? 24 billion, and it's still not complete 8 years later. To the point where people have to be leaving from Mobay to go to Kingston. Now, again, if you've ever had a family member, an elderly relative, a family member, or you yourself has been sick, imagine having to go from one side of the island just to get basic care. It's ridiculous. And from this article, you can see it says, every delay is a risk to someone's life. We cannot normalize this. Our people deserve modern care, dignity, and a system that actually works. We're not talking about blocks and steel. This is about survival. People have died sitting on chairs waiting to be seen. Guys, this is crazy to me. This is crazy to me. Let's talk about number three. So that's our health, education, health. Let's talk about our employment and unemployment. Unemployment is down, but is it really? Did you know that in 2024, they changed the metric by which and how they are calculating unemployment? So now, if you work one hour, let me just read this because me 1 hour a week, you're not considered unemployed. Not only that, they've shrunk the age range of people that they will check for unemployment. So there's less people even being checked in that statistic. And also, if you're somebody who you've literally given up because you're not able to find work and you've given up on the job search, you are not even counted in the unemployment statistics. So they've literally changed what unemployment means in 2024. So unemployment is down to the point where even statistics, they said that you cannot use these current statistics, like the way how it's being checked now, to compare to what it was before, because it's two different things. And here's a screenshot. Here are the screenshots, and you can go and do your own due diligence and look up these things. So unemployment is down. Is this progress? When we're changing what things mean, how is that progress? And maybe you're saying, all right, I don't really care about the unemployment. Maybe you're saying you don't really care about the healthcare because maybe you're healthy and and maybe you don't really care about the education because you're already educated. But let's talk about your money. Let's talk about where your money is going. Did you know that every year, the Ian Fleming Airport loses 1.73 million US dollars? I'm not talking about Jamaican dollars. I'm talking about US dollars. Because the airport only sees 2 flights per week, and your tax dollars are being used to subsidize the seats on American Airlines. And again, here is the receipt. Let's look at where else your money is going. We all saw the Morant Bay Urban Center. Now, who here was excited about it? Because #development, yay, progress. But did you know that the municipal corporation, was currently paying $300,000 Jamaican dollars per month for their rent, when they're moved there, their rents will be going up to $10 million per month, from $300,000 to $10 million per month. Who do you think is paying for that? So we're happy about the development, but you know what's not happy? Your pocket. Your pocket not happy. But we said progress. And again, this is according to Jamaica Gleaner article of July 11, 2025. Number 6. Let's talk about where your money is not going. Let's talk about where your money is not going. It's not going to you owning your own house. So since 2018, the National Housing Trust has never produced more than 2,700 housing solutions. And again, here's the article from the Jamaica Observer from April 7, 2024. And again, you can look this up yourself. I just need you to be informed about what it looks like versus what it is. Bear in mind, 2,700 solutions when a report was made in Parliament that they will be doing 15,000. 2023, they only delivered 1,627 solutions. 15,000, 1,627 solutions. And at the same time, they're generating a surplus of $21.8 billion with a B for the financial year 2023 to 2024, the same year when only 1,627 solutions were delivered. But yet still in Parliament, they're talking about 15,000. They're producing less than 0.18% of completions compared to the working population. And again, the Jamaica Observer article from April 7, 2024. Does this sound like progress to you? Where do you live? Are you renting or are you owning? Because there's what it looks like and then there's what it is. Now, let's talk a little bit about this, what it looks like versus what it is. And I'll run through these quickly because again, I'm not trying to take up your whole day. In the Book of Achievements, they mention that they set up and funded an integrity commission to fight corruption. The irony is not lost on me because, isn't it? I don't find it funny because the integrity commission's documentation, because this is all there. If you don't look at what it looks like, but you look at what it is, this is what it says. Integrity Commission, the same one that's in the Book of Achievements, it says it is an offense to file a declaration late, file a false declaration, or fail to provide information requested by the organization. And me says so. Here's the document that was mentioned, the Integrity Commission.
So for all of these that are mentioned, you all can look it up. Jamaica Gleaner, Jamaica Observer, and just go on the internet and find the information yourself. Mine, let me also make a disclaimer. I am neither JLP nor PNP. I'm a Jamaican. Okay. So for me, it's what I would like good for my country. All right. Is the PNP good for my country? I don't know. If the JLP is good for my country, I don't know. But statistically, when you look at a lot of the statistic, raw, true data, then it's things once again that makes you go, Okay. So it's for each and every one to sit and really, really think about, are you voting for colors or are you voting for what is best for you and your country? And that is what we need to do. Think about what is best for you, may it be in America, may it be in Jamaica, may it be any other country in the world. We need to stop being loyal to whomever because it's tradition or it run down from family and it's the area, it's what the area goes for. Look at what each party is doing. Look at what each party has recommended and go with that. That's all I can.
Lady D.
I'm not there to vote, so I can't vote. Yes,
Lady D.
respect.
I was invited to live on Sunday.
Yeah.
And everything you just said right now is part of what I wanted to say.
Go ahead.
And when I had the opportunity to chime in and express, I was literally cussed out by one of the females on there because you can't say nothing negative about wholeness. And I kept my cool and my calm and I said, okay, why do so many people on both sides? I'm with you, I'm not for either side. But I'm saying, why instead of being so loyal to a party, to a person, what's wrong with taking some time and looking into the history of that prime minister, the government, who's in charge at the moment? And literally, you cannot say nothing Nobody who's with wholeness wants to hear anything negative about him. And I try my very best to say, okay, regardless, we can agree to disagree and to and or to disagree. But why do we have to be so ignorant towards each other with the name calling and cussing? And most of what's going on is the females who are so animated with anger about the PNP at this and PNP at that. And it burns my heart to see how Jamaican women are behaving. And I'm saying all the energy and time they're putting into one party. And more 9 times out of 10, their children haven't seen mommy or daddy for the whole week. They're more interested in the party than their children, their family. So I'm 100% on the same page with you as far as the behavior. I would never ever call myself getting caught up in which side to vote for. Just like it is
Well,
like Democrat and Republican.
you
I'm
know,
hesitant.
you know what I'm happy about? You know, hear the whole heap of shoot up, and dead.
You soon hear it.
No, it's. I mean, some areas, you know, it's going on, but I mean,
You know,
at
but
one time it was
let's even
explosion.
let's even stick to the point. The point is Jamaica appears to be going backwards versus going forward. Okay.
And
And
they're speeding
and
going backwards.
it's crazy that it is blatant in most faces, and
Mhm.
it's just like even here in America, as I've been saying for weeks.
Mm.
A lot of the Republicans see a lot of what's going on, even some that it's hurting them, but they're so die-hearted,
Loyal.
lo-
Mhm.
afraid of 47 and whatever, that no matter what is being done, if given the opportunity again, they will vote the same way. And that is the sad thing about it. And that is why it is necessary for all sound minded people that looks at the undecided folks like myself, that is not neither going left nor right, but is looking at things such as going from 30. Imagine how dunce this is portraying the country to be.
It's a it's a letdown.
19.2%
It's a
Mhm.
letdown.
is passing 5 subjects
Right,
or more,
yes, sir.
including math and English. That alone tells you there's a breakdown somewhere.
Mhm.
And I watched Damian Crawford on the fix, as I said, and he was reasoning on that in regards to a lot of the rural areas, and the rural areas not being able to afford to send their children to school. And that is part of the CXCs and all of the tests that is being taken, and where the children are failing because they're unable to attend school. So they're trying to fix the transportation sector. And even though these big buses that were bought in by the JLB party, he explained why he feels that it's a letdown still to the children, because it does not address the rural areas, the areas that cannot make it to school. It's just a band aid on a huge wound.
You remember, lady, I told you about the was it you and I oh no, my cousin. I was talking to my cousin, and we were talking about that curve coming from reserve to shield. And she said one of the reasons why, remember I was telling you that they're fixing it, She said one of the reasons why it's being fixed is because of the bus, the the new buses, and not being able to go around that curve when another vehicle is coming. So that's why they're fixing it, because I talked about the precipice, feel like it's like and how traffic pass around that little curve right there. I think you're familiar. You know where I'm talking about.
But there are lots of other places that is in that same condition that is not being fixed.
Yeah, but that's what they're saying. Why they're
Children,
fixing them? They're fixing those roads.
and that should have
She
been
was.
those
Uh,
roads should have been fixed long time ago and not
it
have
should
waited on a
have.
school bus to be to come
Yeah.
along in order to fix it. On the next avenue, I can definitely sympathize and understand when we're talking about going on another side of the country to get treatment, medical treatment. I've mentioned it several times on things that I've personally witnessed and experienced. Being in Jamaica on vacation and had to deal with the medical, with the hospitals and getting proper medical attention. So after all of these times, and it's true, you went from 5 billion, you more than doubled what the cost was. So what happened? Where is the explanation to the citizens of Jamaica on why we tripled the cost to fix something and 8 years later it's still not fixed? All of these camouflages that are being camouflaged now, that is being done in X amount of months, that it should have been done it should have been already taken care of within the 8 years. Imagine how a lot of these things are being done in 5 months and 1 year and 6 months. Why wasn't it done all the while? I heard Crawford, and I'm waiting to watch the debate because the debate came on two times
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
twice, and
That's.
I wasn't able
Mhm.
to watch the debates. But that's one of the things on my to-do list for this weekend, since it's a long weekend. Um
Yeah, I saw some of it. I
where
think I sent it to the
that
panel too. Yeah.
where they said that um Queen, you made me just lose my train of
I'm
thought.
sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Um
See, that's what I was talking about when I told you that they had three and three, three on the JLP side and three on the
yeah,
PNP
that's the
side.
debate.
And they were, yeah, the
Yeah, they had
debate.
the debate
Yeah,
twice. Yes, they had the
yeah,
debate twice. But I was
yeah.
um it was something
Mm.
towards what Damien Crawford was saying, and but nonetheless, it's important for persons to go out and vote. And I understand that in some areas that whomever is afraid, yeah, I understand those things. But try and go vote. However it turns out, it turns out. If you feel that you need to vote for the JLP, go on and vote. If you feel that you need to vote for the PNP, go on and vote. But vote your conscience and don't come back crying like a lot of Republicans are doing now. Don't come back. Just vote however you all feel to vote. But look at the statistics. They are there in black and white, bold facedly in your face
Mm.
for you to see. Stop just going off of what people say, what I'm saying. Go and do your own research.
Can,
That's just my
can I
advice
can
to
I
the
say this, lady?
definitely go ahead, the respecter.
I I strongly feel that PNP on paper is gonna win, but they're not gonna get the victory.
Mhm.
Wholeness is going to remain in that position.
I
Well,
said
that's the intention. You see how much commercial he's out there putting out there.
it has not doesn't even do with commercial. It just have something to do with corruption.
Criminals.
And
Mm-hmm.
um, the it definitely have to do with corruption. And then you know, one of this is wasn't what I was thinking to say, but one of the things that was brought up on the on that interview with Crawford was how boldly it's alleged that the prime minister was buying votes boldly on television, saying, "Oh, I give away $20 million boldly on television."
Who's
So
the copy?
you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's whatever happens, we'll see what happens on the third. Voting is taking place in Jamaica on the third, and we will see if the people really, really want better for themselves or if they want the same what they are getting. It's we will all see the outcome of it. And it will be what it will be. I'm still going to go vacation. I'm still going to do what I'm doing. But whom lives there is the one that's going to have to face the consequences, such as we here in
Yeah.
America is facing
Already facing the consequences.
consequences where I'm
Mm-hmm.
living, because this is where I'm living, you know. Living and living and vacationing is two different things, you know. So yeah, we need to we need to think, on the money that is being lost, and once again, you can go pull up those articles, Jamaica Observer, Jamaica Gleaner, and just go on the web, and all the information that you need for all of these situation is there. Alrighty, it's 9:50, and I want to say big shout once again to the Victorious 89.1 FM. Massive and Crew want to say big shouts go out to the You Choose Radio. Happy anniversary! It's coming up, and they're doing up their thing. So big shouts to you, DJ VJ Smiles and Ross Dougal, and yes, the Lady D Show each and every Saturdays, 12 to 4 p.m. We'll be back for the month of September with nothing but interviews, kicking off our second quarter with interviews. Okay. So I'll be back live next week. Yeah. So yeah, just vibes with me on some repeat programming that I've been doing with some great interviews. Even the other day, Don, I had your interview on. Yes, I don't know. I know maybe you missed it, but yeah, I'm putting back some of the old shows so you all vibes with it, but we're coming fresh with some fresh music, fresh things, and all of these things. Yeah. So check me out each and every Saturdays, 12 to 4 p.m. Also, as you're doing now, tuning into Reasoning Thursday each and every Thursdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And also, all about love, nothing but love, coming fresh and direct back in September as well. Took a summer hiatus. So we'll all be back. Let's Gripe will be back. We have Talk with Weesh that is going to be coming as well. We have the fresh vibes that will be September is a renewal. We're coming we coming strong. September and October. We're coming hotter than hot. We have live from Cayman. So, yeah, we have some things going on. So keep it locked right here at DA Powerhouse Radio at gmail.com. It's all about the children. What kind of person? What kind of and last week and I apologize to our listener because we were supposed to come back with the weight loss thing with the Ozempic and the lawsuit that's going on, but I think this one precedes that one. Um, the children. What kind of person can put a weapon through a window and kill off babies?
Monster.
The demon devil.
I mean, how what a wicked demon devil. Anybody want to touch it?
Monsters.
I mean, it's something that you hear about all of these mass shootings and stuff at school. And then school has just started back for a
Mm.
lot of the states and for countries. The Just think about the uneasiness that some parents may feel. You send your kids to school.
But this one is not even school, lady.
It was a Catholic school.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a Catholic school. None, it's a school.
Yeah,
You know,
school, yeah.
yeah, you have private school. My grandbaby used to go to a Christian private school, um, and now she's in public. But nonetheless, it's school. You send your children to school to get an education.
But why is it so hard to keep out one security? You can't have a security?
They're not going to have a security going around and around the building all day marching around. This person aimed a weapon through a window.
See, it's not even this the security. You know what you there were okay when we think about it from the 80s and up, maybe early 90s, where there were just some places that were off limits to have a gun and shoot up. And it was church, hospitals, and schools.
Yeah.
It was just completely off limits. Like no one even thought about that, you know? So to go from that time to have multiple shootings, we've had shootings in churches, in hospitals, and the schools is ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous now. You know, the numbers are too high. So there's definitely some type of endemic problem in this country that needs to be addressed. Because when it happened in another country and they had to shoot down the school, they squashed it and we haven't heard nothing since. And they're just, that's it. But here, we constantly are going through this and we should. Our babies should not have to worry about health. Our parents should not have to worry about sending their children to schools with their teachers and if they're going to see their child again. No, that should not even be a concern at all. So, and it's not just about gun control only, but gun control is a part of it because if the person who's unstable has to wait for their gun,
Mental illness. Yeah.
yes, then you would be discovered more what something's wrong and they can't get a gun, you know? So I don't know. It's between young teenagers, do teenagers doing this to adults? There's an issue. Like there should be a block. Like who would think to do that? You know? So there's something definitely needs to be studied in this country.
Two children lost their lives, 17 others
I'm
injured.
so sorry for those children and their parents.
Yeah. Uh,
No, God made us their soul. They've gone too slow.
I couldn't
Too slow.
fathom. I could not fathom. You know,
uh,
just this entire thing with the gun. I know that people is the one that shoots the guns, but somebody has to take accountability. Someone,
you know, lady, we've been talking about this for years now about the mental issues that are around and what is being done towards solving the mental issue or getting control of the mental issue. I mean, at one point it seemed like these young people I see out there walking around like it seemed like it was changing. The dynamic was changing. But the other day I went back on Memorial Drive and I see them again, start out there walking around, laying on the benches, the bus stop benches and what have you. And you say, what is going on? You know, these are young people. So What do you think is happening? There's so much mental health issue out there and it's not being addressed. And that's the core of it. That has to be addressed in order for these violent crime to stop.
Yeah, Donna says they don't only shoot the children, they also have lethal weapons, strictly targeting the children with illnesses like autism spectrum disorder
Mhm,
and other disorders.
mhm,
It's a sad thing. It's I mean, it's a seriously sad thing. Bless them, cover them.
mhm,
Um,
God,
just pray. Just pray over your children, you know,
mhm,
when before they leave out, they're going out and they're, coming in, cover them with the armor, it's just a sad thing. There was a kid also the other day who bought a gun to school and shot up the toilet in the building. Now they have charged the mom. So
mhm,
she for leaving the gun out carelessly. So our prayers just go out to all the family that is affected in Minnesota with this horrible um, atrocity that was brought down to the children and the adults that were harmed trying to protect the children, because we also have to think of the teachers, faculty, staffs who risk their lives as well to cover these children and to make sure that they don't be harmed. God blessings
mhm.
flowing to them, their family. Just want to it's time to sign off, so just want to leave out real quick. Um, you know there's things that camp does that I agree with. That's why I'm saying I'm one of those independent, neither Democrat nor Republican, neither JLP nor PNP. I'm an independent, and there's things that Kemp does, like even with the COVID thing when he was fighting that, I agreed, and certain things. Um but with this situation, calling out the National Guards in Atlanta to help with rounding up alleged illegal aliens
Washington too. Mhm, mhm,
and giving them orders to do whatever it's alleged.
mhm,
I'm so for each and every one who is really, really, and I'm not advocating for anything. I'm just saying, if you can stay home, stay home. I don't know how long your families or your friends or you, what type of savings that you made when you came here. Even the ones whom are filing, who have their paperwork's already there, waiting for approval, married to a citizen. However, I just feel that everyone kind of sort of just needs to stay put until hopefully this wave have subsided, because it looks is gonna get even worse before it gets better. So all I can do is just pray for you all, and for the ones, I know some of you have to work, um, but if you can stay put until this madness is over. And for Georgia, just know they call the national. It's alleged that they called the National Guard out to assist these people with whatever they're doing to get whomever. So just be mindful. Just be mindful. And if you are working, start saving. Save, and if it's your home, wherever you're from, try to build something. Try to send something home. Try to do something to make your life better if you are caught up in the wave.
Go from one cricket country to the next.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And Don had sent in that there's over 400, what did you say, Don? 4,000 Jamaicans are slated for removal, a direct consequence of 47 comprehensive immigration enforcement policies. So the specter of mass deportation looms large over the Caribbean, with Jamaica at the forefront of nations anticipating a significant influx of its citizens from the U.S. Recent communication from U.S. authorities indicate that it's alleged that nearly 4,000 Jamaicans are slated for removal. This anticipated return marks a critical juncture for the island nation, necessitating robust strategies for reintegration amidst growing concerns over national security and social welfare. So, people,
Mm.
save your money. Don't splurge. Put up your money. If you got, buy land, build houses, do whatever you have to do. So, if you are in this or get into this situation, if you're not here legally, if you overstayed your visa, if you've already filed for your green card and just awaiting it, whatever the situation is, you don't know what's going to happen. Just make sure that you've made proper provision in whatever island that you're from or country that you're from, so that you will at least have a winning chance if you are returned. Okay. Love you all to the maximum. Thank you all so much for joining us for Reasoning Thursdays, each and every Thursdays, right here on DA Powerhouse Radio. Big shouts to you, Choose. Thanks for carrying us. You Choose Radio. Thanks for carrying us victorious 89.1 FM. Thank you all for joining us each and every week on our platforms, www.dapowerhouseradio.com, or on the telephone lines at 667 930 9036, on all social media outlets, also on our TuneIn apps, etc. Loving it to the maximum. Go over to our YouTube channel. Please, please, please like, subscribe, get notified when we are on live. If you like and you subscribe, anytime we come on, it will give you a notification. The notification, oh, hit that notification button too. It's that Reasoning Thursdays or any of our talk programming is on once our YouTube, Facebook becomes live. All righty, so that you don't miss nothing. Because if you miss a little bit, you most definitely miss a lot. The Respecter, you want to say arrivederci?
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Oh, Jah, kumbaya.
Jai,
Blessings.
Have a good night, everyone.
Michelle,
Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us. See you next week.
Noni the Jews.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. All those platforms. Keep doing that every week. We really appreciate it. Thank you for interacting and commenting on our topics. We'll see you next week on Reasoning Thursdays.
All right,
Later.
we got to get you to do a drop for that. Queen,
Night night, Riverdirty. Love you guys. Keep tuning in. Remember, press that like button, and share. Okay? Night night.
in the Respecter, I did get your drop for us. We're gonna have to play it. I got to download it and we're gonna have to play it. Also, tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to nothing but good music right here on DA Powerhouse
You
Radio.
need a nightclub to go playing.
Why? Why
Cause
don't
you're bad, you're bad, you're bad.
you? Blessings. Thank you for the compliment.
Bruh, bruh, bruh.
Night 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 night.
Down to you all, a river down to